Hey, how's everybody doing? It's McNeil coming to you from the garage, working on some Jerry's here. This one got the eyes from 4 Seal in. I have not epoxied those in, and the teeth and the lips and all of that stuff haven't been detail painted because I wait until I get all that stuff in there so that I don't damage too much paint as I'm doing it, and then I go back and I paint around the eyes and lips, and then I'll epoxy all that stuff in. But I'm not really here to talk about this guy, or this guy, or that guy, or those two guys, or the 5 that I have sitting on my dining room table. But I was going to talk about blanks. So I know I sculpted this guy forever ago, and a lot of people are excited about getting one, and they're like, what is taking so long? Well, I'm still waiting on clothes. We got the eyes popping in. If you notice, every one of these guys has eyes. They're hand painted by Tim at 4 Seal, which is awesome. Very excited about that. I got some pictures today. The seamstress is making some headway on the clothing, which is awesome, which also means that it shouldn't be too long before I get some clothes on these guys. So that's gonna be really good. But as far as blanks, these are literally, I've got 10 of these guys painted and done. I've got 10 blanks, actually 9 in here, and number 10 is right here. I just finished foaming it, and I thought I would just talk about foaming for a second because it's one of those things. When I started doing displays, I didn't really understand the process or how it was done, and I know we've talked about this before, but I think there's probably some people that don't go back and look in the archives about how to foam stuff or that kind of stuff. So maybe this will help somebody. I get people asking me all the time what kind of foam that I use. I use the BJB TC274. And I don't have a dog in that hunt other than the fact that this foam is fantastic. I've never had, knock on wood, any problems with this foam rising, no matter what the humidity or the temperature was in this room. I do live in Southern California, so it doesn't get terribly cold. But, I run foam in 50-degree weather here in the garage and never had anything really collapse on me. It's always been something that I've been able to rely on. I haven't had to pull this foam out. I had another brand of foam that just was constantly failing. This stuff is amazing. Now, the other thing is, this is what you get if you buy the gallon kit. And then there's a smaller container of part A because it's 2 parts B and 1 part A. Now, this foam is not cheap, let's be honest. By the time you get it to your door, it's over $100. So I've been buying these gallon kits and wishing that I could buy, multiple gallon kits at a time, because they do sell 5-gallon kits, but the 5-gallon kits are in buckets like this, the big buckets. And this time, actually, I broke down and I did that. And this is how it comes. This is part B, and then part A is in a shorter bucket. And so far, so good. Actually, I'm kind of liking this because it's almost, when you buy the 5 gallons, if you're doing a lot of foaming, and I'm doing a lot of foaming because, again, I've got 20 blanks right here right now, and I'm probably going to run some more. So it pays off in the long run because it's almost like getting 2 1-gallon kits for free. I don't like the mess that it makes when you have to pour it. As you can see, I just poured this stuff maybe 30 minutes ago or an hour ago. And I need to clean up the top of this bucket, but I've got a funnel, and I funnel the stuff into the smaller container for B. So I'm still using this because this one, you have twice as much B to A. So I'm using this old container, and then what I'll do is for part A, I get one of these sort of sweet and sour Chinese food containers, and I pour about that much in the bottom or whatever, because when I mix foam, I do it in layers. And what I'll do is I'll do 3 ounces of A to 6 ounces of B for my first layer. And then I'll do 4 ounces of B to 8 ounces the other way. 8 ounces of B to 4 ounces of A for my second and final foam. And that usually foams me up pretty much to the top, like this. So, yeah. So anyway, I foamed this guy maybe an hour ago. And then what I do is I run a tube down the center. And before, what I was doing is I was taking these tubes and wrapping them in saran wrap so that it would make this column that I could pull the tube out of. The problem that I had with that was the plastic wasn't that great at not sticking. And so, if I used a plastic bag on a tube more than once, what would happen is it would start to fray a little bit, and then it would start to come out and not make a really nice, clean column in the foam. So, there was a post by Michael Dinetz. Michael, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name, who's an effects guy, and he was talking about foaming something else, and he mentioned that when he did some foaming, what he would do is take a piece of wood and he would wax it and then use that to compress the foam to keep the foam in the mold and, get a denser sort of like rise out of his foam. And it occurred to me, well, duh, I could just put some wax on this cardboard tube. And what I use right now is the same thing that I use as a mold separator. It's that sort of Citrus Shield. It also smells very good. Premium paste wax, which I think I bought this at Lowe's. And it works awesome as a mold separator on your plaster wall in between the halves of a two-piece mold. Like right in there, when you do the first half, then I coat it with that wax, and man, it does a great job of keeping the two halves separate. So if anybody's looking for a mold separator, this is great for that as well. So anyway, yeah, I've waxed this tube here, and what it does is it makes it so that you can just twist it. Of course, I'm doing this with one hand, and it slides right out, and you end up with an awesome, clean, super tidy column of foam. Now you're like, well, what's that blue thing in there? Well, because this is a tube, what I'll do is I'll take a glove from like the previous foaming session. I saved my gloves, and I'll throw that on the end of the tube to keep the foam from running up the tube. And that's worked out great too. I'm not wasting materials or anything like that. Now, the other thing that I've been doing on these Jerry's is I've been dropping coffee lids. Bought a bunch of coffee lids. What I'll do is I'll foam that first layer of foam. When I say layer, it rises, about this big in the bottom of the head. So, it rises quite a bit. But that first pour of foam, what I'll do is I take it actually and I pour it all along the edge on the inside here and let it run down into the center. Then I tilt up my mold, roll it around a little bit so that what I end up doing is pushing that foam into particularly the face areas. And I try to pick it up far enough that it'll run down into the chin. And then when I set it back up like this, it'll run back to the crown. And what that does is it puts a layer of foam on the inside of the face, but it rises so that when I do my second batch, that second batch doesn't have so much to fill. So what happens is it pushes back on that and makes it so that it foams up around the post like this. But anyway, after that first layer, what I'll do is I take this coffee lid, because it's plastic, and I'll set it gently on top of that sort of pad of foam that's in there. And that's my target for the column for my my tube. And I'll take that second batch of foam, I'll pour it all along the edges, let it run down into the hole, and then what happens is it won't fill up. You might get a little foam on the Dixie lid cup, but not a lot. It's not a big deal. But this makes a nice plastic barrier so that when you do put this on a stand, that you don't have something poking through the foam and ultimately making a dent in the top of the head. In the past, I've noticed, particularly because I use these like light stands as I'm working, it's not terribly hard to accidentally work your way through the foam and see like a little point on the top of the head. Now, for the most part, these guys are going to have wigs and that kind of stuff, but I didn't like that. So I use this, and this disperses that pressure. It's also plastic, so no matter what kind of stand that you're putting it on, it's not going to penetrate that. So then I put this in there. I take my tube, and I put my tube in it just like that, and I let the foam rise up around the tube, and ultimately you get this. Now the other thing that I did was I took some painter's sticks, and I figured out exactly where I want that tube to rest so that I don't have to stand over it and hold it. So this tube will go straight down through the center of those painter sticks, and I've got on the bottom of these painter sticks, I mean, this is just janky, but it does the trick, 2 balls of tape so that that pressure from the foam rising does not alter the distance that I've sort of established here in the back, right, as to where I want that tube to land. And that allows me to kind of step away, and I can, you know, put a finger on it or whatever as that foam is rising, so that I'm not directly in the line of those vapors, because this foam, when it is curing, is pretty toxic. So you don't want to be breathing this in. I always open up the garage door and this door here, and sometimes even put on, and I know I should wear it more often, but I put on a respirator mask so that I'm not breathing those terrible fumes. But anyway, that is how I'm foaming these guys. And like I said, the first time I foamed one of these, I was terrified. I had no idea. Brandon Murphy gave me the sort of the nuts and bolts of the thing, and in terms of how to do it and all of that stuff. So I have him to give credit in regard to figuring out how to mix this stuff. And, you know, again, you know, foreign materials, you don't know what you're doing, and it just sort of seems like it's, you know, an impossible task. But the reality is now I've got this down to the point where I can foam a mask in like 20 minutes and then just walk away and let it rise, and then pull this stuff out, and we're good to go. So anyway, that's how I have been foaming these guys. And then the other sort of tip, I guess you'd call it, that I could maybe give you about foaming is, after all this is said and done, you know, if I come back here and go, oh, you know what, I need to make sure that this is all filled in. You could come back in and put like another little layer of foam in here just to fill it out if it needs it. I think these are going to be fine because he's going to have so much clothing on. I actually kind of want this area in here because there's going to be that shirt, there's a scarf, and then there's also that leather jacket that Jerry wore in the movie. So I feel like I need a little bit of space in there. I don't want him to be too puffy underneath, if that makes any sense. So what I also do is I come back with, and this was the tip I was getting to, I have like a turkey carving knife, an electric turkey carving knife, and I use that to shave down and smooth out so that, you know, this would be flat, so that I can glue and then I take a PVC coupler, like a 2 or 3 inch, whatever size that is, coupler, I think it's 3 inch, and I tuck all the clothing in there, and then I push that coupler in there, and what that does is it draws the clothing tight and gives you a nice clean edge for your stand, and it's just a nice sort of finished look. So anyway, there you go, foam and a mask. This is number 20, which is crazy because I literally haven't taken a dime on any of these yet because I've been waiting on the clothes, and I wanted anybody that has been interested in one of these to see what a finished one looks like. But that should be coming probably, I'm hoping, within the next week. And then once I give the seamstress the green light on that jacket, because I found the shirt, I found the scarf. Actually, I got 6 shirts in the mail today, and I need to order more, and then I need to order some more scarves and stuff. But once she's rocking and rolling on these clothes, these first 10 are going to be a short trip before they are done and out of here. And then I will get to painting 10 through 20. Actually, it would be 11 through 20. Paint these guys, and while I'm painting these guys and hairing them, I will get back to pouring blanks. But currently, I'm literally out of stands. I'm out of room. I got blanks literally everywhere. My dining room table is full of finished Jerry's at the moment. You can see I got some stands going on there. And my 3D printer in the house is printing stands like crazy. So anyway, if anybody was wondering what happened to Matt, he fell off the face of the earth. I did, but I fell right into Jerry's lair. And these guys are haunting my dreams. So anyway, there you go. Number 20 right here in the mold. And as soon as I get some clothes on these guys, I'll finish epoxying them and put some clothes on them, finish those stands, and these will be in the mail. There you go. Well, actually, I'll take money for them, and then I'll put them in the mail because again, like literally, I haven't even taken deposits. So, yeah, on a wing and a prayer here. But there you go. 20 Jerry's in one room. Talk to you guys soon.